Hi, I'm Amy, and I really like books. At least I think I do. I've always been a reader. Ever since I was a kid, I've loved books in middle school and high school. I didn't have friends, I had books. Um, and I've always identified myself as a reader. I just feel like I haven't been enjoying reading as much as I used to. The funny thing is this year I've read a lot this year. Last year I think I read 30 books total, and this year I've read 30 books like so far this year. So I'm reading almost twice as much as I have in past years. But the thing is, everything I've read has been like fine. It's been a while since I read a book that I really, really loved. Like everything's like 3.5 stars. It's just fine. I don't want my reading life to be fine. Like I want to genuinely enjoy what I'm reading. And recently I just really haven't been. So I'm doing an experiment today and for the next couple weeks where I'm only reading books that I think I'm going to genuinely love. So I'm only reading books in my favorite genres with my favorite tropes with like the right vibes and that kind of thing. So I think I'm genuinely going to love all of these. We will see how that goes. And hopefully I will find at least one or two 5-star reads in here, and that will just like remind me that I'm genuinely capable of enjoying things because I feel like everything I've read, I've had like little criticisms for, and I've been like, yeah, it was fine, but I wish this had happened or this, and I feel like I'm just really critical, and I'm not finding the same like joy in reading as I once did, and so I'm going to try to fix that this week or in the next couple weeks, however long this takes. So I'm going to be reading one book in each of my favorite genres. I'm going to read a thriller, a romance, a historical fiction, and a fantasy book. And I'm hoping that at least one of them is going to blow me away and be fantastic. But ideally, I'm going to have 4 new favorite books by the end of this experiment. It's going to be great. But yeah, and I'm just going to take you along because why the heck not? So I was going to get started today. We'll see how that goes. I have a Bananagrams tournament today. I don't know if you've ever heard of Bananagrams. It's kind of like Scrabble. Like it's the perfect word lovers game. But I can't spell, so we'll see how this goes. And then after that, I left my purse at a restaurant like an hour and a half away. So I'm going to go pick up my purse from the restaurant. But who knows, while I'm out, I may run by Barnes & Noble and see if I can find one of the books that I want to read this week. So we'll see, and I'll listen to one of my audiobooks on my way there. So I'm hoping I'm still going to get some reading done today. It'll just be slightly different than I expected it to be. Great, and I'm going to tell you what books. I haven't totally decided on all the books that I'm going to read. I will let you know in a later clip because I don't know what I'm doing. My hair looked good today and I liked my outfit, and I thought this would be a good time to film really quickly while I had a minute. So we'll see later. We'll see what's going on. Okay. Welcome to my car. It is 13 years old and has no air conditioning, so I hope you enjoy your time here. I know that I will. So I'm going to be listening to the audiobook for A Song of Wraith and Ruin. I'm excited about it. I heard it has a really good romance. It has some like I think like enemies to lovers or like we're supposed to kill each other type vibes, which I love. I think there's also like a fantasy competition, which I also love. And the cover is absolutely gorgeous. And so I think I'm really gonna like it, and I'm excited about it. I will check in and let you know how I'm doing. Cool.
2 hours later.
So I'm in the parking lot waiting because I ordered food because I was like, I'm gonna be here, I might as well get food. And then I'm gonna go get my purse. And then I'm going to go to Target because I don't get to go to Target very often. And I'm going to see if any of the books that I want to read happen to be at Target while I'm there. I've started A Song of Wraith and Ruin, and I really like it so far. I haven't super gotten into it, but I'm only like an hour into the audiobook, and so I don't really expect to be super into it. But so far I really like the vibes. I really like the 2 main characters, specifically the female protagonist. I like her a lot. Karina, I think is her name. I think she's really cool. I think she's really fun. I like that one of the protagonists seems to have some kind of supernatural anxiety disorder, which I think is interesting. I actually have an anxiety disorder, so I always enjoy seeing how authors write anxiety, and you can usually tell if somebody's experienced it or not, or talked to somebody who's experienced it. And so far I think it feels pretty accurate. So that's a point in their favor. Um, but yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about yet. I haven't gotten very far. But the vibes are good. Good vibes. All right, I am back. It's a couple days later and I've done very little reading. However, I have decided what I'm going to read, so I'm going to share that with you. As I mentioned before, I actually already started A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, and so far I'm really enjoying it. It's really fun. I haven't really gotten into it yet. I'm still only listening to the audiobook, so I'm 2 hours into the audiobook, so things are starting to happen, but things hasn't really started yet. So I have my air conditioning on. I'm gonna go turn it off. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna be sweating in 2 minutes, but you'll be able to hear me. So here we are. All right, so we have two protagonists. It's dual POV. Karina is the Sultana's daughter, but the Sultana is assassinated, and so she has to take up her mother's role. And there's this contest going on. There's a magical contest, which I love, and so I'm vibing with that so far. And according to the back cover, she's trying to resurrect her mother with dark magic and stuff, and she needs the heart of a king, and so she's decided to offer her hand in marriage to the winner of this contest, and then she's gonna kill him to resurrect her mother. Now, of course, our other protagonist is fleeing his home with his sisters. His younger sister is taken by this spirit thing, and he agrees to kill the princess to get his sister back. And so he joins the competition, and so he's trying to kill her, and then I'm sure that he's gonna, she's gonna try to kill him because he's gonna win, and they're gonna have to get married, and then they're gonna have to kill each other, which is my favorite thing. So we have some sort of, I don't know if it's enemies to lovers, but there's the hey, we're falling in love, but now I have to kill you thing, which, as I mentioned before, is my favorite trope. And we have a magical competition, which is super fun. I'm really enjoying the setting so far. I really like the two main characters. I really like Karina and Malik. I don't know how to pronounce it. He's really cool too. I like him. And I think so far I'm enjoying it. Also, the cover is so gorgeous. I'm gonna see if I can put it up here, over here. It's so pretty. It's one of the prettiest covers I've ever seen. Yeah, so far I'm really enjoying A Song of Wraith and Ruin, and that's my first book that I'm reading, and that's my fantasy pick for this experiment. The romance book that I chose is Would You Rather? I should have put the names of the authors. I don't know the names of these authors. I really need to do that. I'll put them somewhere, or I'll talk about them later. The things you don't think about when you sit down to film a video, and I'm I don't know what I'm doing. Here we are. Okay. So the tagline is, would you rather... Oh, it's my printer. I thought someone was trying to kill me. We're good. Everything's fine. Okay, the tagline is, would you rather play it safe in the friend zone or risk it all with a modern marriage of convenience? Which is great. I'm so excited. Basically, as far as I know, Mia has a medical condition of some kind. I think it's she needs a kidney transplant or something. And so she relies very heavily on her health insurance. But she has the opportunity to I think it's go back to school or do something big and cool, but she'd have to quit her job, and she can't quit her job because she needs her health insurance if she's going to get that kidney transplant. And so her, I think, longtime best friend Noah, who has a very good job, is hey, we should just get married so that you can have my health insurance and so that you can do all the stuff that you want to do. And so it's friends to lovers, it's marriage of convenience, it's, fake dating within the marriage of convenience, because of course they have to prove to everybody that they're actually in love, and that's why they got married, and it's not fraud. Why is fraud so appealing? I love some good fraud in a novel. It's great. It's fantastic. But yeah, I am very excited about this one. As soon as I heard about it, I was yep, I need it. I need it right now. Um, However, this one might be more challenging because it's an ebook, and I really don't like ebooks, but I couldn't find the audiobook. I could just bite the bullet and get it off of Audible because I have all these credits that I refuse to use because I'm I don't want to waste my credit on a book that I might not like. And then if I use the credit, like, what are the odds of me listening to the audiobook again? And so I almost feel like it's like a waste of my money. But like, that's the whole point of Audible. Like, if I don't want to use it, like, why do I have an Audible subscription? Anyway, it's a mess. What was I talking about? Ebooks. Ebooks is what I was talking about. I don't like ebooks, so we will see if I can push past the ebook thing and enjoy this book because I am, again, very excited about it. Also, here's the cover if I didn't put it up. Also, really cute. It's just, I'm just excited about it. It's going to be good. The next book I'm reading, this one I actually have, I'm going to be reading The Light Between Oceans. Wow, the lighting is really weird. The Light Between Oceans. The last book I'm reading, and I really think I am going to try to leave this one for last because this is the one I'm most excited about. I'm going to be reading Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney, which I'm so excited about. I've actually it was I've actually realized I've only read one Alice Feeney. I read Rock Paper Scissors last year, and it was one of my favorite thrillers that I read last year. Probably one of my favorite thrillers I've read in general. It was just really good. I thought the atmosphere was really fun. I liked the twist. It was just generally enjoyable. I know that probably her most popular one is it The Last Time I Lied? I think is her most popular one, but I haven't read it because I sort of had the ending spoiled for me. I had somebody share that that twist was like a twist in a book that I've already read, and so I was like, okay, well, if I know what the twist is, I don't want to read it. Anyway, long story short, I've been looking forward to Days of Darker for a very long time, and I haven't picked it up yet, and I'm just going to bite the bullet and get it on Audible because I want it really bad, and they don't have it. They're not going to have it at my library for like months, so I'm just going to do it. If you don't know, Daisy Darker is heavily inspired by And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which is one of my favorite books ever. I love that book. And I love any isolation trope thrillers. I think they're so fun. And this one is like very, this one even like takes place on an island. Like it's like very much And Then There Were None. Even like on the back cover, they're like, no, yeah, we know this is And Then There Were None, but we did that on purpose. It's okay. But basically, like, I think it's about an estranged family and they all get together for like the grandmother's birthday, but then like the grandmother dies and no one knows what's going on, and then they start dying one by one. And I think it's gonna be really fun. I don't know a whole lot, but like I'm kind of trying to go into it as blind as I can because I tend to enjoy thrillers a lot more when I don't have a whole lot of information. And so yeah, I that's definitely the one I'm most excited about. I've really been on a thriller kick for like a couple years now, and so honestly, part of the reason why I'm doing this video is because I want to read more genres than just thrillers. Because I've gotten to the point where like I read so many thrillers that I don't really enjoy them much anymore because I'm so used to the tropes, and um, I I haven't really been surprised by a thriller in a while, and so I'm trying to do more genres so that I am not totally inundated with thrillers all the time. But yeah, um, I think that's all I wanted to say for this clip. Okay, I'm gonna go read because I want to get this all done as soon as I can because I have a bunch of other books that I've been waiting to read. And so I need to get these done first because if I don't read them, I'm not gonna read them. If I don't read them now, I'm not gonna read them. Okay, cool. I'll talk to you later. All right, so I've been slacking a little bit. That's not true. I haven't been slacking. I've been busy. I don't want you to see I'm gross. Okay. I look tired. I am tired. That makes sense. This lighting is like truly terrible. You know what? It's fine. Anyway, I haven't been slacking. I was in a wedding this weekend and I had some extra stuff for work. I'm a party princess, so I was Belle this weekend. Along with the wedding, it was a lot. I'm very tired, but I haven't been reading very much. I'm nearing the end of A Song of Wraith and Ruin, and I'm really liking it. I've also officially decided that I'm not going to read a historical fiction book for this video because I don't want to. Like, the idea of it stresses me out. I'm not looking forward to reading that, and that's like the whole point of the video is that I should be excited about what I'm reading, and I'm not excited about that, so I'm not going to do it. So I'm only going to read 3 books. Okay, but I'm going to go read some more. I'm very excited about what's going to happen. They're like really deep into the competition, and I'm loving the vibes. It's really fun. So I'm gonna read some more while I clean my guest room slash playroom, and I'll tell you how it goes. It is early and I'm tired, and you know what? I'm not gonna apologize for how I look. It's fine. I don't owe anyone attractiveness. Okay. I just finished A Song of Race and Ruin, and I really liked it. I definitely enjoyed it a lot. It was I think a 4-star for me. I really loved the atmosphere. The setting was really fun. I enjoyed the characters, particularly Karina. I don't totally understand the magic, but I think that's fine. It's a duology, and not everything was like tied up in a nice bow, but like that's fine. Again, that wasn't the intention. I don't really read series as often, so that's a little bit not frustrating. It's just like I need to not let that affect my rating, because like it wasn't meant to tie everything up. I did really like the ending. I liked the, I guess, twist sort of. I thought that was really good. I'm really intrigued for the second book. I'm definitely going to read the second one. I need to finish my other books first. I think I'll probably wait until November-ish to read that, because I really like reading fantasy in the winter, and so I'll wait till it gets, I'll wait till we have winter vibes. I think it'll be perfect for right after Halloween, right before Christmas, because I'll have to have my Christmas reads then. Alright, I'm about to start Would You Rather. My arm keeps getting tired, but I can't film with this hand. Fine, okay. I finally switched over to Scribd. I've had Audible for a long time. I mostly use Libby and get stuff through the library, specifically audiobooks. But I finally got a Scribd subscription. I'm sorry I said that. Okay. I finally got a Scribd subscription, and that's what I'm going to call it. Usually I use Libby to get all my audiobooks and my ebooks and stuff, but I also have an Audible subscription, and I don't know what it is, but Audible still feels like you're buying something, because it gives you like credits, and you get like 1 credit per month, and so it still feels like you're buying an audiobook, because you always have that audiobook. But the thing is, most of the time, like, I don't need to own the books that I read. Most of the time I'm just going to read them once and like move on, and so I kind of feel like it's a waste of money, sort of. Scribd is slightly cheaper than Audible is, and so that's nice. Oh yeah, my husband usually uses our Audible, so I had to check with him to make sure it was okay. But we switched over to Scribd, and I'm really excited about it, because you just have access to so many things, and I'm really excited about it. Also, I don't have to support Amazon, because I have feelings about Jeffrey Bezos. The thing that's so crazy about Amazon, I'm just gonna go off on a tangent real quick, is what I read about what they do with their books, because books on Amazon are like so cheap, so cheap, and the reason they do it is so they can put other book businesses out of business, because if they sell everything cheaper, then everything else is gonna go out of business, and that's kind of depressing and really a bummer, and this is not a good angle for me. I'm struggling hardcore. Okay, everything's fine. I'm tired. It's too early. I'm working. I'm a nanny. She's watching Peppa Pig. And I'm going to start Would You Rather. I got all this to say, this tangent, I got the Would You Rather audiobook on Scribd, because originally I had the ebook from my library, but I don't like ebooks, and so I'm going to listen to the audiobook instead, because I'm going to enjoy that a lot more. So far so good. I have a 4-star read so far, so that's really good. I don't know if I'm going to end up with a 5-star. I realize that I'm really critical of my books, and part of me wanted to give A Song of Wraith and Ruin 5-star, but I think it was more just because like I wanted to like have a 5-star. And it's funny because I don't know what makes me give something a 5-star. There's just like the feeling. You just like know, right? Anyway, I'm gonna start Would You Rather. I'm gonna start Would You Rather. That's what I'm gonna do. Peace out. I'll see you later. It's good. It's really good. All right, so I am 2 books in. I finished A Song of Wraith and Ruin and Would You Rather. And I really liked Would You Rather. It was, I think I'm giving it a 4.5. The first half of the book was like perfect. I absolutely loved it. For the first half, it was absolutely 5 stars. And then it kind of dipped a little bit. And I feel like it's not really the book's fault, it's just the genre's fault. I always hate that little bit where they either break up or they're fighting all the time. And I know it's necessary for like tension, but I don't like it. So I'm giving it a 4.5. I really loved the characters. It was really it was really believable. I felt like the characters were believable and their relationship was really believable. And that's a big thing. I feel like in romances a lot of the time I'm like, I don't really buy it, but in this case I totally bought it. It was really fun. Had lots of very giggly moments. I think I took a clip of listening to one scene and it was very good. You know what? This is fine. This is fine. My arm's tired, so I'm leaning. I'm not good at this. This is not something I'm good at. And I have something on my glasses and they're all crooked. Don't worry about it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm starting Daisy Darker and I'm not even finished with the first chapter yet, but I'm already like a little bit obsessed with it. I love the tone. I'm listening to the audiobook. The audiobook's really good. I really love the narrator. And Then There Were None is like one of my all-time favorite books, and so I'm really, really looking forward to this. Also, it's September now, and so it's fall, so I'm getting into the fall vibes. I have my, here. My goodness. Okay. I have my chai with my pumpkin cold foam, which is my go-to fall beverage. My goodness. Okay. So I have that. It's like, I think you can see out my window, it's really overcast today, so that's really fun. I'm going to decorate for fall today. I have my little girl that I nanny, and she's going to help me out. Oh. So the fall vibes are immaculate, and I feel like this is the perfect book to read at the beginning of fall. I always read mysteries in fall. Ooh. I always read lots of mysteries, specifically Agatha Christie. I feel like September is the month for Agatha Christie because it's like the right amount of spooky for like fall, but it's not like spooky yet, and October's for spooky. And so Agatha Christie is in September. And so I'm gonna decorate for fall. I'm gonna read more Daisy Darker. I'm going to make some French onion soup tonight, I think, because I have all the ingredients for it, except for the cheese. Maybe I'll have to go get cheese. That's fine. Anyway, but, ouch, I'm in pain. Sorry I keep moving. I can't, my arm keeps hurting, and this is gonna be rough to edit. Don't worry about it, it's fine. So far, this experiment's actually going pretty well. I've really enjoyed the 2 books that I read so far. I haven't had a 5-star yet. I'm crossing my fingers that this might be a 5-star. It's been a really long time since I've read a 5-star thriller, though, so my hopes aren't too high. But I am hoping that it'll go well. Depending on how quickly I read it, this might be my last day. It's like 10 hours, so I'm just definitely going to go through tomorrow. Yeah, I'm feeling good. A lot of it I know has to do with the fall vibes. And again, yeah, it's not going anywhere. Anyway, like I said before, I feel like September is for Agatha Christie. And so Daisy Darker feels like a really good choice for my first like fall book. Oh, it's lighting. Oh my gosh. I'll talk to you later. Hello, welcome to my kitchen while I make dinner. Don't look at my husband's ugly gaming chair. I'm sorry. I love you, sweetie. What? Oh yeah, books. Okay. So I'm about a third of the way into Daisy Darker. I'm enjoying the characters. I like the And Then There Were None vibes. There are a couple things that I don't totally love about it. It's very descriptive. And honestly, I don't know if I have a problem with it, but it is weird. Like, it's not something that I really mind, but there are lots of metaphors and similes. Like, there's one, like, there are at least like 10 on each page. It's a lot. I don't really mind it because I feel like it fits with the vibe. I feel like there's kind of like an old-timey mystery, obviously Agatha Christie vibe, and I feel like it kind of fits. It's not super off. I'm liking the vibe so far. I wish that we talked a little bit. Like I want everything to be a little creepier. It's not quite as creepy as I would like it to be, so I hope it gets a little creepier. But so far I'm enjoying it. I'm about to make myself some soup because it's fall and I'm excited about it. Um, but so far I'm just vibing. Okay, the thing I've realized about myself when it comes to thrillers is I need to just read it quickly. Like I need to try to read it as quickly as possible. I need to not stop and think about it, because if I stop and think about it, most of the time I can figure it out. And I don't really want to figure it out. I just want to vibe. I just want to enjoy myself. So I'm going to try to finish it. Probably won't finish it tonight, but I think I'll be able to finish it by tomorrow. And I'll come back and let you know what I think. So far, I'm definitely enjoying it. It's really fun. So far, I'm not sure if it's going to be a 5-star or not, just because the vibes aren't quite what I wanted them to be. But I still think I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm enjoying it so far. Cool. Okay, it has been a minute since I talked to you. It's been too long since I vlogged. I got my hair done in between. I don't know if you can tell. I got my fringe done. I got some highlights in. I'm really liking it. I'm happy with the hair. Was not as happy with the book as I am with the hair. So I finished JC Darker. It was a while ago, probably like a week ago. I just forgot this was happening. So here I am telling you my thoughts. In my last clip, I think I had mentioned that it wasn't quite what I expected, and that's kind of what it continued to be, is that I think it was everything the book said it would be. Like, it's not like it was poorly advertised or like false advertising. It just wasn't like what I wanted it to be, and that's fine. I wanted it to be like a little bit darker than it was, and it felt almost like juvenile isn't the word I'm thinking of. I don't know. It just didn't like pack the punch that I wanted it to, which is fine. Like, it doesn't need to. But it was kind of a bummer because that was the book I was really excited about, and I only think I ended up giving it like a 3.5. Like, it was fine. I actually did like the ending. I thought that the ending twist, I guess, was pretty interesting. I actually didn't see it coming. I know a lot of people did. I didn't. And I did like that twist. I thought it was interesting, and it painted the rest of the book in a different light. But overall, I thought it was fine. I wasn't particularly interested in any of the characters. I felt like they were all kind of bland, and I felt like a number of the like quote unquote twists were like really obvious, and I had seen them coming. There were even a couple that I was like, oh, was that a twist? Like, I thought we just were supposed to assume that that was what was going on. So I am a little bit bummed about this one, again, because that was the book that I was like really excited for, and I've been looking forward to reading this one for a while, and it ended up just kind of being fine. And overall, I feel like this video was like fine. I feel like I was really trying to find something really incredible, and I really didn't. I liked the other two books that I read. I liked Would You Rather, and I liked A Song of Wraith and Ruin. And I did actually end up liking, I think the one I was most surprised by is I really did like A Song of Wraith and Ruin. Wraiths and Ruin? Whatever. But I did really enjoy that one, and I'm definitely planning to read the sequel. But I think I'm going to do another clip at the end where I like wrap it all up, and so I'm going to talk about that more then. But I just wanted to update you on what's going on. How long is that? Oh, it's coming from here. It's fine. Just ignore that. Pretend it's not here. It's fine. So I finished my experiment. I am back. I am here. I have collected my thoughts, I think, for the most part. And I'm going to now regurgitate them. Regurgitate them to the camera. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the purpose of this video, or this week experiment, was honestly to try to find a 5-star book, find something that I would really enjoy, because I've been having trouble finding things I really like recently. So originally the plan was to read 4 books in each of my favorite genres. 1 book in each of my favorite genres, which would add up to 4 books. Yes. I was going to read a fantasy, a historical fiction, a romance, and a thriller. I nixed the historical fiction because I've really been having trouble with historical fiction recently. And the whole point was to only read books that I really wanted to read and that I thought I would really like. And I didn't want to read The Light Between Oceans, so I didn't. So I gave up on that one. So it was 3 books that I read for this video. The first book I read was A Song of Wraith and Ruin, which got a 4.5 from me. It was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. Wasn't quite a 5 star, but I did very much enjoy it. The second book was Would You Rather, and I gave that one, I think I gave that one a 4.5 too. Maybe 4. 4.5? Yeah, I gave that one a 4.5 too. The last book I read was Daisy Darker, which I gave a 3.5. It ended up being the most disappointing book in this video, which was kind of a bummer because I was looking forward to that one. But overall, I didn't like dislike any of the books I read. I just wasn't absolutely in love with any of the books that I read. So I guess this experiment was like kind of a failure. But I think I did learn a little bit more about my reading taste, which is good. The most surprising book was A Song of Wraith and Ruin because I haven't really been reading a whole lot of fantasy recently. And so I was really surprised about how much I enjoyed that one because I really, really liked that one. And I'm definitely going to be picking up the sequel. Um, like I said, it was the first book I read. I wasn't immediately pulled into it. It took me a little while to get into it, but about the halfway mark, it really picked up and I was really immersed and really enjoyed it. How many times can I say really in one sentence? The characters were great. Specifically, Karina, the protagonist. I'm pretty sure her name is Karina. It's been a minute. It's been about 2 weeks since I read it, and I'm already losing details. But I'm pretty sure her name is Karina, and I loved her. She was fantastic. I really liked her a lot. Um, I liked the male protagonist too. I just tended to enjoy Karina's chapters more. Um, I thought that the romance was really fun. It was like subtle enough that it didn't take up too much time in the story because there was a lot more going on. I really enjoyed the magic system. I thought that was really fun. I don't know if it's a magic system or just the way magic works in this world. I really enjoyed the world building. I'm excited to dive back into this world in the sequel. Um, and I love a good competition. There was a little bit of a competition going on. It didn't play as big of a role as I wanted it to. I wish it had been a little more upfront in your face, and it wasn't. That's fine. I still enjoyed the book a lot, but I especially enjoyed the end. There were a couple little twists that I enjoyed. Um, but yeah, the end really pulled me in, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to reading the sequel, seeing how things end in this duology. I'm also very grateful it's a duology because I can't do long series anymore. I get bored too quickly and I forget what the heck is going on too quickly. So I'm gonna have to read that soon before all the details leave my brain. But yeah, I was sort of surprised by how much I enjoyed it, but I really, really loved A Song of Wraith and Ruin. I would say that one was a success. I mean, it was 4.5 for me. That's pretty high. Um, but yeah, I don't know how to transition into the next book I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to do this thing with my arms. Transition dance, I guess. Anyway, the second book I read was Would You Rather, which I definitely enjoyed. Definitely enjoyed this one. Particularly the first half. The first like half to 3/4 of the book was like chef's kiss, like my perfect book. Everything about it was wonderful. I really, really loved it. I have always been a fan of Friends to Lovers. It's always been one of my favorites. I was close friends with my husband before, we were romantically involved and then married. So I have a personal connection to Friends to Lovers. Um, and this one was really, really fun. I love A Marriage of Convenience, so that was really enjoyable for me as well. And when they have to like pretend in front of everybody else. Again, the first half was fantastic. I loved the beginning of this fake relationship and them trying to fool everyone around them and all that kind of thing. That was really fun. About the 3/4 mark, it kind of fell off a little bit for me. I definitely still enjoyed it. It just wasn't as enjoyable as the first like three-fourths of the book was. Um, and I frankly don't totally remember how it ended. Like I know like vaguely how it ended, but I cannot for the life of me like remember like what the last scene was. I very specifically remember like other scenes in the book, like other things really um were impactful, and I did a lot of giggling in the first like three-fourths of the book, in the first three quarters. Lots of giggling, as you should in a romance. I really liked I specifically liked the male protagonist a lot. I liked the female protagonist as well, but the other big thing is I totally believed the relationship. I really like a story where the characters already have like a history together. I like when we jump in. I'm not typically a huge fan of like a meet cute like in my story. Like I want them to already have a relationship of sorts. Even if they're not close, like I like them to like know each other to some extent. And so it was fun to jump into this decades old relationship. And I totally believed it too. Like I was like, I totally believe these people are best friends. I totally believe they've been like this for years and years and years. The only thing again is I didn't necessarily believe they hadn't already gotten together. Like I was like, dude, you've been here this whole time. How has this not already happened? But I feel like that's the case in most friends to lovers, so I can't really fault this particular book. And again, the real reason I didn't love it was around, I don't think this is a spoiler. I think it's just like a common trope in the romance genre that around three-quarters of the way through the book, there's like a breakup or an argument or something where they're like, oh yay, they're together, and then you're like, oh no, now they're fighting, and you have to like get through those like 50 pages until the end when they get back together. And I always hate that part of the book, so I cannot blame this book. But yeah, I feel like it was like really going fast. I was really into it, and then it just kind of like stopped at that point. And it just kind of killed my momentum, I guess. But it makes sense. Like it makes sense that that's how romance story structure works. I get it, but I just wasn't a huge fan of it, and I've read some other books that handle that like better than this one did. But overall, I definitely enjoyed myself. For 4.25. I don't know if I'd quite say a 4.5, but like four and a quarter, I think is how I would rate this one. Maybe I should just stick with 4 stars. I think I'll just stick with 4 stars for Would You Rather. All right, and the last book I read was Daisy Darker. I talked about it recently in a previous clip, so I'm not going to talk about it too long. This one was kind of the bummer for me. It was only like a 3.5, which is fine. Like it wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, and it was the book I was most excited about. And it's kind of funny because I really expected to like A Song of Wraith and Ruin least. I expected Would You Rather to be in the middle, and I expected Daisy Darker to be my favorite, so we just like swapped it because I think that I enjoyed A Song of Wraith and Ruin the most. Would You Rather again was in the middle, and Daisy Darker was my least favorite of the three. Um, but yeah, again, kind of like what I said, I already talked about it in a previous clip, so I won't go on too long about it. But it just wasn't what I wanted it to be. Like I wanted it to be a certain way. It kept talking about how it was heavily inspired by And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which is one of my favorite books ever. And I feel like one of my favorite things about And Then There Were None is there's this like building tension this whole time, and you're just like so worried about what's going to happen next. And like I sat in my living room and read straight through the whole thing because I couldn't put it down because I was like, this is so good. And Daisy Darker just didn't have that. It didn't have that like momentum or that intensity, and that like it wasn't like as anxiety inducing as I feel like a lot of that type of thriller is when you're in isolation and people are dying left and right. It just didn't have the tension that I wanted it to have. It felt almost, I don't know, because I don't think this makes sense. I think this is very specifically like my experience reading it. The vibes almost felt like a cozy mystery. Like it kind of felt like a cozy mystery type thing, like the vibes of like the house and stuff. Like the house wasn't scary, like it felt like cute and cozy, and like the family was definitely screwed up, but they were all kind of like caricatures, and so it felt like a cozy mystery when it really like wasn't at all. And that might totally be just like my weird interpretation of it. Um, but that's kind of how I felt about this one. The big twist at the end was actually pretty good, and I didn't see it coming. I know a lot of people did. I didn't. Um, but that did kind of, it didn't like redeem it for me in terms of like it's not like, oh no, now it's a 5 star, but I got to that and I was kind of like, oh okay, like I can vibe with that. I can vibe with that ending. Again, I don't really know what this experiment did. I think I'm going to try to do this again at some point and hope that I do end up with a 5 star. It's just been so long since I've read a 5 star book that I don't know if my standards are just too high at this point, or if I just need to find like my niche perfect book for me. Um it's funny, just the other day I watched Do Revenge on Netflix, and I was telling my husband, I was like, this is like, it's like they made it for me. It has like all my favorite things, and I need to find my Do Revenge of books. Like I need to find it. Like not necessarily Do Revenge in book form. However, if you do know a book that's like Do Revenge in book form, let me know. Weird random tangent, but I really liked Do Revenge on Netflix. I don't know how to end this. This is awkward. I'm very new at this. I don't know how to end a video. So thanks for watching. Again, I don't really have like a thesis statement for what this video was. My experiment didn't totally work out the way I hoped it would. It also wasn't a total disaster, and so I feel like it's just kind of here. So thank you for watching. Come back someday when I post another video, I guess. Okay, bye. The tagline is, would you rather play it safe in the friend zone or risk it all for oh, wow. Why is talking so hard? Would you rather play it safe in the friend zone or risk it all for a modern marriage of convenience with a modern? Gosh, freaking dang it, I can't do it.